say this competition is quite a bit different than a normal project that we work at work, because we don't have any access to the developers or the product owner or any of the requirements beforehand, right?
Since we don't know what the application is all about, it's all about finding it, then working as a team together to define our strategy, the scope of the testing that we're going to do, and then work from there.
Because it's all so fast, you have like 20 minutes or 30 minutes to set everything up. Oh, we have the app, we have to configure some tools and things like that.
What is a little bit different with us is we actually form part of the specialist team in the department. So we do all of the non-functional testing, security, LNP, performance, and so we don't focus on functionality a lot. So for us, it's very exciting to be back and actually get into an app from a user experience point of view, because we normally run through the back end.
We do an agile approach here, agile strategy, because we're doing real sessions with stand-ups to get our stuff together and
focus areas, and everybody has a specialty.
Right job to the right guy. Do what you do best, man. Go for it.
We practice a lot, and we're pretty confident of ourselves, and I think we're ready for that.
Hi, I'm Philip. I'm from Movil. We are a mobility company. We are a Daimler-owned company, and the product that the guys are testing in the background is the Movil app, which is a mobility app that tries to consolidate mobility services like bike sharing, car sharing, services, public transit, authorities, as well as, for example, train tickets. So that's our product. It's been around for approximately 5 years. So it's actually pretty old for an app if you think about it.
Work in real life, be it in an agile environment or traditionally, you never have enough time. You might have more than 3 hours, but you never have enough time. So it simulates in a micro version the decisions you need to make, what is important, what not, what to report, what to leave out. And I think that's also some takeaway they take, that it's okay to make this decision, to be or give the best feedback to customers as you can do.
Time pressure, conditions of uncertainty and ambiguity. So this is cauldron of, I don't know what's happening. And you've got to make tough trade-offs in terms of what do you invest your time into for testing, what strategies do you use, and then how much time do you invest in the test report, how detailed do you make your bug reports. All that is completely up to the attendees.
Since we always try to make it also a little bit more active than just people sitting on a computer, we are lucky that we got this year a mobile app, so for once, which is a little bit different than regular websites or desktop applications. Plus also, since it involves some kind of GPS location system, we actually managed to get two automotives, 2 cars, which play a part in the application. So we hope that it also triggers more test ideas, more interaction with the system than just testing a regular website. So it's a nice combination of still having an app version to test, but also some element which gives these wow element, like we can do that, we have a car on the stage, that's great.
Now I'm just setting everything up to get the taxis and then the taxi and do a round trip.
Oh, awesome. Very good.
I hope to see things interesting.
We are able to find bugs. It's always a good sign for a tester.
Yes, the bug terrier.
Yeah,
This is our mascot. We call him Bugsy.
Yeah, we just broke it into boxes of times and what we're going to be focusing on.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so we're trying to stick to this little page here.
The idea behind the Mime app is that we all start going each other's own direction, and this Mime maps help to give us focus and also the plan on what to do next. So are we doing the right thing at the right time? Therefore, that's the major idea behind it.
I saw that you are performing some stand-up.
Yeah, we take time slots of 30 minutes, and we found out by practicing that this for us is helping a lot, because sometimes you're way too focused and then it's 1 hour is gone, and that's maybe you're not doing the right thing at the right time. So.
Okay.
I'm IJsbrand Kapen. I work for VX Company, and I'm here as a business partner of Crowdsource Testing, who has developed the lean testing software tool, and we're sponsoring the event because we want the testing community to adopt these tools, and that's why we've decided to sponsor the event. So I'm happy to be here. So what we're looking at right now, this is specially made for the World Finals. So this is an overview of how the teams are currently working. So you see an overview of all the bugs which have been raised by the teams which are now competing against each other. Like you see, Pest Control is rather productive. So in terms of the amount of bugs, they are a winning team. But I'm sure I don't know what the quality of the bugs is. So we've given each team access to the lean testing environment. They have a separate project environment where they can submit their bugs in. So we have a look at the teams now, and I'm now opening the team of Mentor Graphics. And we're now looking at the dashboard of this team. And so far, over the last 1.5 hours, they have raised 21 new defects. So this is kind of the dashboard environment, so you get a quick overview about how the team is performing. You see that they have raised critical bugs, trivial bugs, a number of major bugs, and a couple of minor bugs. It's up to the jury to judge these defects, and we can look into the details of the bugs. And as you see here, you see a list of all the bugs which have been raised by the team. None of them have been evaluated yet, but you can look at the list here.
Okay, we're at outside with Omar, next to the Car2Go, which is an awesome, cool tool. Watching him be very impressive with his app. Can you describe to us what we just saw?
Actually, with Movable app, you can reserve a Car2Go. So, for example, if you want to go somewhere, meet a friends in the city, you just reserve with the Movable app a Car2Go. Car2Go is reserved for you for 30 minutes. So, in these 30 minutes, you go to the car. The app takes you to that location where the car is. It shows you where it is. You go to the car with the app. You can open the car and you can hop in, drive. And before, definitely it has, you need to validate your driving license. You have to scan it, which you can do with the app. So with one app, you can scan the app, open the car, drive, and leave the car to go and end the rental. So we did this to test with the Android device, and it worked. That's what we want. That we know that with which version of the software it's not working, so we can fix it and our users don't have any problem.
I found it also quite nice that later on they actually went out in the cold. It's still -degrees here, and really took long time to interact with the cars provided in the backyard and trying the GPS stuff out and the ordering, etc. So yeah, I like the passion and energy.
What amazed me was the complexity of the software, because you've got to create a driver persona that's simulating a real driver of a real taxi, and create a customer persona, and you've got to interact with it through your laptop and through your phone, and then get out of the car and see if it would work without actually spending any money, although you could sort of spend some money in development if you used the right fake credit card, maybe sort of, unless you didn't. It was just an incredible amount of complexity, and the teams were not going, what? What is happening? So confused. They were not doing that, and that alone was a good thing.
It was really interesting to see the different testing strategies that they perform. Some of them use mind maps, other ones use some matrix with time boxes, another team has checklists posted. So I think it's going to be a challenge for us today to review all the material that they produce. So I think so far so good.
$10 as a checklist turns out to be kind of silly.
Just saying. $10. Anybody takers? No? We'll
Not
see.
today. You've got people that are in the process of panicking, and let's go check on them, see how they're doing.
Just in a hurry to.
Lying about feeling good? Good.
It is okay, but we are in a hurry.
Yeah, we know. We're doing this to everybody just to be mean.
We are trying to do our best to win.
Here we are with South Africa team. How are you doing in the last minute?
Panic at the last minute.
Stressed, very stressed.
Do you think you're going to win?
Fingers crossed. Hopeful.
Good luck. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Just getting really the last stuff in. But that's why I continue. That's always. We always need more time, but we're never done. So.
And do you think you are going to win?
Of course. Otherwise, you should not compete.
Yeah, that's the spirit.
Yes.
Good luck.
We're doing great. We're just finalizing our report. Going over our bugs, and are about to finish, preparing our stuff to finish.
I'm good, thank you. We just need the last 2 bugs being raised, numbers, and in here, and then we're good to send this through. So
You look very confident. No, not so.
it was quite exciting, and I think I think everyone was like looking at the clock as you were doing the last few things.
Yeah.
We submitted ours and went, actually, we could have added another sentence. I don't know about anyone else.
Like you had to think fast, act fast. Everything was just super agile. Hence, it's an agile testing conference. It was our first time here from South Africa, but it was extremely exciting, very fast-paced. Like you're sitting at the edge of your seats almost the entire time, just wishing for a little bit more time. We logged 22 bugs, so let's see how it goes.
The app didn't crash at all, which was fantastic, because the very first preliminary round that we did, the app crashed within less than 5 minutes. So it was completely a wash, and it actually didn't even allow users or people in the competition to even log any bugs. So it was nice to actually have something that was stable, and you could actually run it without it crashing.
Well, yeah, and it does this and this and this, and I said, how are you going to test it? You're going to get a cab? And it's like, yeah, it's actually parked out front. We're going to bring it around later. And I went, you're kidding. And it's like, okay. Hello, I'm Pete Whalen. We are at Software Testing World Cup final wrap-up for 2016, part of Agile Testing Days. And sitting next to me are 4 distinguished gentlemen, the newly minted world champions of software testing. This is the Pangalactic Gargle Blasters. What do you think about the results? You okay with it?
Yeah. Of course, the result is okay. But
Yeah, we won, so
yeah, it's okay.
we only got 10 minutes instead of 3 hours. Don't know why. It felt like 10 minutes,
Yeah.
but I thought we were very good, and I felt very good about the stuff we did. So
Yeah, but it was also because you design for perfection, and every time we want to be better. So I have that's my goal at least.
Well, actually, my session started very poor because I couldn't get my hack tools working. The proxy, I couldn't get proxy, I couldn't get transport stuff, I couldn't decompile. So I had to shift gears, and I started just testing the front end with a security and software design or software developer hat, and we got some great bugs, really.
The first mind map we drawn on the board is what the information we got from mail and what the PO says and the answers to the questions. And after that, the first session we do, the first 30 minutes, is a survey session. Go and look at the product from your technical, from the GUI and from the usability part. And after that we get an idea after the first 30 minutes of the software, and then we can fill in the mind map more in the mega stand-up, mini stand-up behind the session, and then we can discuss who is doing what.
For me it was a really, it felt like 2 seconds. So much going on and so much stuff you want to do, and we definitely rehearsed the time slot, every slot of a half hour, and then we're syncing together if we get it up and running for what we want, the test type we want to do, and that is so helpful for us to because at the report you want certain stages to be filled in, and every time we say, okay, we need to synchronize, and that definitely helped us in the results. All thought at the end, I forgot this. We some automatic regression, forgot. We had some additional search, forgotten. There's so many stuff we thought was forgotten, and therefore we were not that happy when we left. But if you now look back, also other teams forgot a lot of stuff, so that's, for us, it's cool.
And you can hop in, drive, and before definitely it has, you need to validate your driving license, you have to scan it, which you can do with the app. So with one app you can scan the app, open the car, drive, and leave the car to go and end the rental. So we did this to test with the Android device, and it worked. That's what we want. That we know that with which version of the software it's not working, so we can fix it and our users don't have any problem.
I found it also quite nice that later on they actually went out in the cold. It's still -degrees here, and really took long time to interact with the cars provided in the backyard and trying the GPS stuff out and the ordering, etc. So yeah, I like the passion and energy.
What amazed me was the complexity of the software, because you've got to create a driver persona that's simulating a real driver of a real taxi, and create a customer persona, and you've got to interact with it through your laptop and through your phone, and then get out of the car and see if it would work without actually spending any money, although you could sort of spend some money in development if you used the right fake credit card, maybe sort of, unless you didn't. It was just an incredible amount of complexity, and the teams were not going, what? What is happening? So confused. They were not doing that, and that alone was a good thing.
And it was really interesting to see the different testing strategies that they perform. Some of them use mind maps, other ones use some matrix with time boxes, another team has checklists and post-its. So I think it's going to be a challenge for us today to review all the material that they produce. So I think so far so good.
$10 as a checklist turns out to be kind of silly. Just saying, $10. Anybody takers? No? We'll see.
Not today. You've got people that are in the process of panicking, and let's go check on them, see how they're doing.
Just in a hurry to.
Are you lying about feeling good? Good.
It is okay, but we are in a hurry.
Yeah, we know. We're doing this to everybody just to be mean.
We are trying to do our best to win.
Here we are with South Africa team. How are you doing in the last minute?
Panic at the last minute.
Stressed, very stressed. Do you think you're going to win? Fingers crossed. Hopeful. Good luck. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Just getting really the last stuff in. But that's why I continue. That's always. We always need more time, but we're never done. So.
And do you think you are going to win?
Of course. Otherwise, you should.
Describe to us what we just saw.
Actually, with Movil app, you can reserve a car to go. So, for example, if you wanna go somewhere, meet a friends in the city, you just reserve with the Movil app a car to go. Car to go is reserved for you for 30 minutes. So, in these 30 minutes, you go to the car. The app takes you to that location where the car is. It shows you where it is. You go to the car with the app. You can open the car, and you can hop in, drive. And before, definitely, it has. You need to validate your driving license. You have to scan it, which you can do with the app. So with one app, you can scan the app, open the car, drive, and leave the car to go and end the rental. So we did this to test with the Android device, and it worked. That's what we want. That we know that with which version of the software it's not working, so we can fix it, and our users don't have any problem.
I found it also quite nice that later on they actually went out in the cold. It's still -degrees here, and really took long time to interact with the cars provided in the backyard and trying the GPS stuff out and the ordering, etc. So yeah, I like the passion and energy.
What amazed me was the complexity of the software, because you've got to create a driver persona that's simulating a real driver of a real taxi, and create a customer persona, and you've got to interact with it through your laptop and through your phone, and then get out of the car and see if it would work without actually spending any money, although you could sort of spend some money in development if you use the right fake credit card, maybe sort of, unless you didn't. It was just an incredible amount of complexity, and the teams were not going, what? What is happening? So confused. They were not doing that, and that alone was a good thing.
And it was really interesting to see the different testing strategies that they perform. Some of them use mind maps, other ones use some matrix with time boxes, another team has checklists and post-its. So I think it's going to be a challenge for us today to review all the material that they produce. So I think so far so good.
$10 as a checklist turns out to be kind of silly. Just saying, $10. Anybody takers? No? We'll
Not
see.
today. You've got people that are in the process of panicking, and let's go check on them, see how they're doing.
Just in a hurry to.
Are you lying about feeling good? Good.
It is okay, but we are in a hurry.
Yeah, we know. We're doing this to everybody just to be mean.
We are trying to do our best to win.
Here we are with South Africa team.
Two automotives, two cars, which play a part in the application. So we hope that it also triggers more test ideas, more interaction with the system than just testing a regular website. So it's a nice combination of still having an app version to test, but also some element which gives these wow element, like we can do that, we have a car on the stage. That's great.
Now I'm just setting everything up to get the taxis and then the taxi and do a round trip.
Oh, awesome. Very good.
I hope to see things interesting.
We are able to find bugs. It's always a good sign for a tester.
Yes, the bug terrier.
Yeah, This is our mascot. We call him Bugsy.
Yeah, we just broke it into boxes of times and what we're going to be focusing on.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so we're trying to stick to this little page here.
The idea behind the mind map is that we all start going each other's own direction, and this mind maps help to give us focus and also the plan on what to do next. So are we doing the right thing at the right time? Therefore, that's the major idea behind it.
I saw that you are performing some stand-up.
Yeah, we take time slots of 30 minutes, and we found out by practicing that this for us is helping a lot, because sometimes you're way too focused and then it's 1 hour is gone, and that's maybe you're not doing the right thing at the right time. So.
Okay.
I'm IJsbond Kapen. I work for VX Company, and I'm here as a business partner of Crowdsource Testing, who has developed the lean testing software tool, and we're sponsoring the event because we want the testing community to adopt these tools, and that's why we've decided to sponsor the event. So I'm happy to be here. But what we're looking at right now, this is especially made for the World Finals. So this is an overview of how the teams are currently working. So you see an overview of all the bugs which have been raised by the teams which are now competing against each other. Like you see, Pest Control is rather productive. So in terms of the amount of bugs, they are a winning team. But I'm sure I don't know what the quality of the bugs is. So we've given each team access to the lean testing environment. They have a separate project environment where they can submit their bugs in. So we have a look at the teams now, and I'm now opening the team of mentors.
We've got people that are in the process of panicking, and let's go check on them, see how they're doing.
Just in a hurry to...
Are you lying about feeling good? Good.
It is okay, but we are in a hurry.
Yeah, we know. We're doing this to everybody just to be mean.
We are trying to do our best for you.
Here we are with South Africa team. How are you doing in the last minute?
Panic at the last minute.
Stressed, very stressed. Do you think you're going to win? Fingers crossed. Hopeful. Good luck. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Just getting really the last stuff in. But that's why I continue. That's always. We always need more time, but we're never done. So.
And do you think you are going to win?
Of course. Otherwise, you should not compete.
Yeah, that's the spirit.
Yes.
Good luck.
We're doing great. We're just finalizing our report. Going over our bugs, and are about to finish. Preparing our stuff to finish.
I'm good, thank you. We just need the last 2 bugs being raised, numbers, and in here, and then we're good to send this through. So
you look very confident. No, not so.
it was quite exciting, and I think I think everyone was like looking at the clock as you were doing the last few things. Yeah. We submitted ours and went, actually we could have added another sentence. I don't know about anyone else.
Like you had to think fast, act fast. Everything was just super agile. Hence, it's an agile testing conference. It was our first time here from South Africa, but it was extremely exciting, very fast-paced. Like you're sitting at the edge of your seats almost the entire time, just wishing for a little bit more time. We logged 22 bugs, so let's see how it goes.
The app didn't crash at all, which was fantastic, because the very first preliminary round that we did, the app crashed within less than 5 minutes. So it was completely a wash, and it actually didn't even allow users or people in the competition to even log any bugs. So it was nice to actually have something that was stable, and you could actually run it without it crashing. So.
Well, yeah, and it does this and this and this and this. How are you going to test it? You're going to get a cab, and it's like, yeah, it's actually parked out front. We're going to bring it around later. And I went, you're kidding. And it's like, okay.